Welcome, everyone, to this continuing story. A story that finds us journeying through time, through Ireland, through old ships that, as far as we know, are long since at the bottom of the sea. But, at least in this time, they are still afloat. We are here with our adventuring party, and they have had, just as of last session, had a series of jovial, kind of hilarious discussions with tiny little fey pixies. And those pixies have given gifts, they've given information, they've attempted to exchange things. They've tried to be very tricksy with all of you, but you have sort of deftly sidestepped all of their attempts at, them trying to take things from you, and you have given them warmth and kept them safe. And so they are sort of bound in this interesting relationship. Mm-hmm. One of the pieces of information that they have given to you is the fact that below deck, something violent and bloody has occurred. This is, of course, due to the fact that you are not the only people who have traversed time. You are one group of people, but there is another. There is something evil aboard the Titanic currently. And it is hunting. It is hunting for a princess of Vaesen who is guarded potentially by somebody you're not altogether sure of. You feel like you lack information. There's something about this mysterious figure. Something you can't quite put your finger on. Be that as it may, Nehemiah, you were the one to lead the way as you began to make your way through this mess hall of sorts, this cafe aboard the Titanic, and you were making your way towards the other end of the hall, and you see the Vaesen sort of strewn all around you at this point. Your sight has been opened, and you see them all around. And you see the humans. It's two worlds that seem to be playing atop each other. And as you go, I believe we established that Cliff was not far behind you. And Cliff, you were about to shift, or you were in the process of shifting, when something happened. Last session, this resulted in a die roll. A die roll that, well, with Vaesen, it's a D6. You rolled a 5. And when we spoke last, the 5 indicated something to do with the person or a person that Clifford knows to be Marianne. And it was kind of a shock, like, what is happening? And Cliff, I will allow you, in this moment as you are going through this transformation, to tell everyone what you feel as this transformation occurs, but it is also influenced potentially by the fact that you've crossed the boundaries of time through this magical portal.
And this transformation, is it purely an emotional state?
I was going to leave that up to you. I wasn't going to. I know we talked about it, that these are spiritual. This is a spiritual change that takes place of sorts. Yeah.
I think there's almost a presence with him, and it influences their own state for a bit. I think you all would feel or notice there's always a tenseness with Cliff. There's always a sense of not necessarily keeping a guard up. And if the guard is up, it's not necessarily for himself. It's for a charge. But you see that let go of just a bit. There is a feminine energy that washes over. There's a purity, but there is a depth to it. Marianne was a strange figure in her time. Strange because, unlike many who would shy away from the truths that those like us know to be real, the average person would cower away, try to act like these things don't exist, go about their day in a state of refusal or ignorance, because to be ignorant means you don't have to face it. She faced them head on. The spirits were shields for her. The Vaesen, a level of understanding, a level of care. She is a strong lady, a resilient one, who took those truths and made it her armor. That is the energy that's coming from Cliff.
This change in energy, this is also an interrupt, because I believe you were about to go into almost your black dog phase, or your transformation was leading to that. This is almost a pattern interrupt for you, where you're suddenly like, whoa, this is astonishing even for you, because you didn't call for this.
Mm-hmm.
This change in energy occurs. Drew, how close have you been proximity-wise to Aoife during this entire time? Ever since crossing this plane into this another alternate time?
I think that regardless of whatever tone of the situation, whether the stress times, whether the lightly more levity-filled times, thanks to the little Vaesen trying to negotiate, Drew has always been near. If he at any point feels like Aoife is in a state where she needs space, he provides it by not engaging, by being near enough that should she need to call for him, or should she need something, he's there. I think the encounter before they crossed, where he was severely wounded, gave him a bit of a wake-up call about his inadequacies. But that makes him all the more intent on staying close to her in case he needs to jump into action to protect her.
Dove, as you were following behind Nehemiah, you still have this tiny pixie, and one of the uncles alerted you all to the violence that has occurred below deck, and there is a sense of urgency. Okay. Nehemiah, Dove, where are you in relation to Nehemiah right now?
The last time I recall doing anything, I was talking to one of the small folk making a bit of a bargain, a deal. So
Yes.
I think close, but with my back turned. It's a very private business conversation we're having.
Mhm.
So I think close enough to be an earshot. Nehemiah is very good at giving signals when something is popping off quickly.
Yes.
But certainly having the private talk with the small.
So this deal
friend.
that you have brokered is a deal that could potentially give you invisibility for an extended period of time.
So I have been told. Yes, I don't know how much Dove believes that, but yes. So it was said to me.
Mm-hmm. So, if we can take a quick look at the maps, we have we've gone through into the smoke, or the lounge rather, and we have made our way down past the dining saloon, and we are making our way into the second class berths. I would like everybody to give me an investigation check.
3 successes.
Okay.
No successes for me.
No successes, okay.
No successes for me.
1 success from Drew. 1 success from Cliff. Cliff and Drew, you're cognizant of others. Cliff, you're almost singularly focused on Nehemiah, and you're sort of watching him just do what he does best. He is a hunter. That is what he does. He tracks. He brings things to ground. And he is, as you're making your way down, you see the telltale signs of somebody who doesn't belong, who doesn't know the environment, leaving trace clues. There is, of course, telltale signs of blood, but tiny droplets that have sprinkled on the ground. And you're not entirely sure, because you guys didn't damage. You didn't hurt Colonel Hartman. He was relatively unscathed. In fact, when you tried to stake him, he just disappeared into a thing of smoke. But now he is starting to show some signs of maintaining a physical space right now. And you see the faintest sign of a claw mark making it down one of the stair rails. And as you make your way down the stairs, you see how it sort of like crisscrosses, like it reaches a landing, and then there's another set of stairs that goes down. You make your way down until you are crossing over into third class. And because it is at that time of night, you aren't seeing a lot of people. A lot of people have retired for the evening. They're either upstairs in some kind of relaxing repose in the saloon, or they're having a late dinner. A lot of people have kept to their berths. It's extremely cold outside. And so they are not out and about right now. You do still hear the slightest din of music above. There is a group of musicians that are currently playing music. As you make the turn into third class, you hear cries and screams. You hear the sound of a woman weeping. You hear the gasps, the final gasps of a death rattle, as you come around the corner and you see this long stretch of rooms and berths on either side. And you see one is open and the door is sort of hanging off of its hinges. And there is a woman lying next to the body of what appears to be a man. And there is just blood just all over the door. It looks like somebody has fed. Nehemiah, you immediately recognize, just from what you're seeing right in front of you, this is definitely, there's no mistaking, this is the handiwork of your quarry.
Is there anyone still alive in the room?
The woman. The woman is cradling the body of the man.
I think Dove goes in. That was stupid to say, but Dove would. I didn't check anything before doing that, but if there is someone in need of comforting, Dove would try. Peeking her head around the corner and kind of like waving the woman forward to see if she can get her to leave the room. I don't think Dove would be super familiar with transformations or how that kind of works, so she doesn't want this man that the woman is cradling to suddenly leap up and attack. She's trying to get the woman to come to her right now.
You see, this woman is wrapped in what looks to be like a worn shawl, just sort of like she's like sort of wrapped it around her, but she's also like trying to just. She's in shock. She's in some kind of terror as she's like dabbing at the blood that is pouring from this gentleman's throat.
And Dove like looks behind her at the rest of the group, but is going to take a step into the room if no one is stopping her, because she has to get that woman out of there.
Nehemiah, I guess, feel free, Andy, check me on this. I feel like Nehemiah knows a good chunk about Vaesen in general at this stage, having been an investigator. What does he know about the way vampires would work in this stead?
That is a great question. So, you've not had...
That's going to dictate how he reacts to Dove moving.
You've not had any encounters with any
I didn't think
vampires. But I will say one of the things that you are aware of. Is that they can shift and take on different guises and shapes. They are known. They have the known ability. Obviously, this is something you know from just having experienced it an hour or so ago. But they can turn into a mist, seemingly at will. They do possess unnatural strength, and they can seemingly withstand a tremendous amount of punishment.
Okay, I think what he is looking for information-wise is this feeding going to cause additional issues for the team regarding this man? Like, is he dead, doomed, or are we going to have to take care of him before we move on?
So, that is the question, isn't it? Do you have the time to take care of this one and go through the process of disposing of this body, preventing it from any kind of transformation of itself? Or do you continue in your pursuit with the hopes that you can stop Colonel Eric Hartman?
See, that's the problem. But thank you for confirming. I appreciate that.
You are aware that vampire bites do things. So
okay, I just didn't know if that was this universe, because in some places it's just like no, they're done.
Really quickly, while the information gathering is happening, humble GM that you are, being of the Vaesen type that specifically deals with death, can I tell if a problem is about to metaphorically and figuratively and literally arise for us right now, or is nothing happening? And with Marianne on my side, I think it's going to be a little easier for me to figure it out. I say easier, but the dice will probably humble me very quickly.
Okay. I would like... let's see here. I would like
Could I argue observation?
I would like you to give me a straight no. This is it really depends on how much time you want to take. It really depends on how much time you want to take.
I mean,
is this an investigation or is this it's going to be observation or investigation.
It's an observation for me. I'm not investigating.
Okay.
This is intent. This is energy. This is not with a magnifying glass.
Sure.
I am not in my Velma era right now.
So you are, you're standing like slightly behind Nehemiah. Nehemiah, you're the closest to this body. The woman is just sort of sobbing and looking at you like her eyes are just screaming, "Please do something, do something." She is speaking in it's like pure shock, like she's speaking in some form of Gaelic, and she is just in a state of shock.
Also, not going to like what she's asking me to do.
She's asking you to help him.
Oh, I know.
And
she's not going to like the way I do it.
What I would like to know, Aoife, what are you doing in this moment?
So I think I need to like recalibrate a little bit because I the headspace that I see Aoife in right now is, again, we're dealing with a lot of different things going on right now, and also knowing that there's like a literal time crunch, and also that there is chaos in the lower decks, and that was where we were heading, right?
Yeah.
Go, right.
Yeah, because you know that there's the trail is currently what you're looking at right now. The trail is hot in terms of where, and we know that where you might need to go is even further into steerage.
Yeah,
because that is where potentially you might find Violet and her ward.
Right. That's the direction we're heading in. So, okay. Thank you for the recalibration. Okay.
Mm-hmm. No problem.
Because Aoife's headspace is entirely on like the realization of how many Vaesen are on this ship and how, gosh, it's across the board. Everyone is on this boat to go and find new things, and it's not going to work for any of them. So it's kind of this, I think she's concerned with moving on because I think it's ultimately like there's not a lot of hope here, and all we can kind of figure out what to do is solve the main issue and try to get back.
I need you to voice that.
Yeah, I do. I gotta figure out how to voice it, don't I? Jeez.
Drew, you in this moment of crisis, you see the blood everywhere, sort of just leaking into the boards of the floor. You see sort of the shocked woman in a shawl. You see that there is a boot print, a bloody boot print that leads away because it has stepped in the blood of this young or gentleman, and it is moving further down the hallway towards another set of stairs that appear to move down further.
Heads up for you, Andy. Nehemiah's next move is either using his knife to pry something wooden off of, whether it be a floorboard or some wooden molding or something, or B, he's going to use his knife to cut this man's head off.
Okay. All right.
Either or. Just want to put that in there.
That's a choice. Okay. Cliff, you were going to have me give me an empathy observation check, please.
Yes. I actually need to add one more. Wonderful. So when I'm in half-shifted form, a couple of things happen. I get an additional die for empathy and physique checks. I lose a die for logic and precision checks, which is great. Here, which means I added an additional, plus the additional die I get from Marianne on empathy-based rolls specifically. So I rolled 9 dice and got 4 successes.
Okay.
Okay. On 4 successes, Aoife, you looked like you were about to say something. Is it going to influence the...
Wait, what? Sorry, what were you talking about?
Is it going to influence the
Okay,
effect?
yes.
Okay,
Sorry.
go ahead.
I was sorry, I was reading the chat.
There's
ask
a
that
chat?
question again. Ask the question again. I'm so sorry.
It looked like you were about to say something.
Yes. Just in terms of voicing everything, I feel like everything is happening so fast, and I feel like Aoife is kind of like stagnated by everything, and again thinking that like we kind of need to move on. But I think it's like as everything is going to happen at once, I think she's going to start to utter, "We may need to move on," just as action is happening. So whether people listen to her or not, but
Drew, Dove, you hear her say that. What is this? Does this galvanize you in any way?
I will say, because as this is all happening, I also spot the footprint.
Okay.
I think that the mention of moving on plus the footprint makes me sort of gesture for the group, especially to Nehemiah. I think there's an acknowledgement to Cliff, to Nehemiah as well, specifically because I know that they take the lead. They're, hard hitters. There's just a gesture to the footprint, and I'm moving, and he's very quietly also like gesturing. He's pointing at his eyes, and he's pointing at the woman asking for help, as well as the individual in her arms. For Drew, this is not a unfamiliar vision, not maybe on the Vaesen related, but war related. He comes from that time, and he's not altered by it. So if he knows that they are on a time constraint, he's moving forward.
Understood. Okay. It's at this moment you do hear footsteps coming down the stairs from the direction that you just came. But before we get there, Cliff, as you are taking all of this in, you see the body, and then you see Nehemiah, and you'll see the way his eyes move, and it's almost, you are thinking you are only a slight step behind, and then you sort of leapfrog a bunch of steps forward, trying to figure out, what do we need to do here? The man's body is still warm, so it is a fresh kill. You know that you have time before any change occurs.
And just so I know as well, just to make sure all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, she looks healthy?
As healthy as a woman in shock and sort of covered in blood can possibly look. She is just speaking. It's like she's almost completely forgotten English. She's just sort of grasping at Nehemiah at this point, just desperately asking, like, for help. And then you hear the footsteps behind you. You hear a voice, just a very loud, gruff, "Oi! What's going on down there?" And you hear the footsteps quicken.
I am immediately gesturing for people to move because we cannot be anywhere near this scene right now. If we are caught in with this scene, we are going to be delayed, and this is going to be a whole other thing.
are we standing in a doorway looking into a room, or are we in the room?
There's a hallway. There's doors on either side, two
Yes.
berths
Yes.
on this ship. And this is third class, so the berths are small. They're not,
Yes.
they're like pretty packed together.
But can we see where
the
this voice is
screams-
coming from?
The direction that you just came from up the stairs.
But can they see us is what I'm saying.
They haven't seen you yet. You just hear the
Wonderful.
voice and you hear footsteps.
I think with this voice, like immediately on action, it's like Aoife like looks back in the direction, sees that she hasn't seen, and is starting to move in the direction of these footsteps, like immediately, like instinctually.
Understood. Nehemiah, what are you doing?
Nehemiah's got a sharpened piece of wooden molding that he's cut out of like the wall nearby, and he's just gonna plunge directly.
I'd like you to give me a stealth check.
Oh, absolutely.
I want to see if this woman notices.
3 successes.
1 success. Okay.
No, she missed it, actually.
So what he's actually going to do is he's like taking her hands, and his right hand is like covered by his sleeve. Like he's basically pulled the sleeve up over his hand to kind of like help her up. And as he like turns her to the right, and his left hand has the spiked wooden piece in it, and he just like pushes down into like the heart area with his left hand, and he is like picking her up and look like keeping eye contact with her. Like he's so close that like she can't look away. Like he's keeping eye contact with her, and he just pushes it down into the body with his left hand, and he is like standing up, and then he just like gives a quick glance to Cliff before his eye. It's like just like a split second, just like his head doesn't move. It's just the eyes over and back.
Drew, you're still making your way towards the stairs?
Not the direction of the footsteps, but the foot.
No. I meant the other stairs. Yeah.
Yes.
Continuing in the direction that you think the bloody footstep has gone.
Yes.
Got you. Okay.
I mean, ideally, Aoife, making sure that Aoife is following. Hopefully, the rest of people are coming. I'm not worried about Nehemiah. They know how to move through. They're faster. They're stealthy. But I would like to see the people start to move, because otherwise we're getting stuck here.
Dove, you see the molding go in, and you see Nehemiah taking this woman, sort of lifting her up, almost in it is odd how fluid this motion is. Like, have you done this before? What do you do as you see him sort of lift this woman and sort of like almost shield her from the sight of what just happened?
I think Dove tries to do a quick snapshot of this, because in the most morbid way possible, this is a moment of human kindness. This is him keeping her safe. This is him granting her mercy. This is him making sure the person that she loves doesn't get up and then terrorize her. And it seems horrific and morbid and macabre, but it is mercy. This is an angelic miracle of an act. And watching Nehemiah do this is kind of like solidifies in Dove that she couldn't. Like, she can fight out of fear for her life, but she's never been able to mercifully kill for someone else. And it's a moment. It really does shock her into stillness until those footsteps from the opposite staircase start getting louder, and she'll reach out like she always does and tug on Nehemiah's sleeve or coattail, whatever she can reach. She's always pulling him to the next thing, so she's trying to tug him to get his attention again.
Okay. For Cliff, that eye motion is... it can't be anything more complex than it's just the word cover.
Same energy. There's a reason that Nehemiah became Cliff's next charge. He tends to have a connection, a way of communicating with these individuals who need it, even if they don't realize it, or perhaps it's for him, he doesn't know. As the look happens, it's fast. Dove, for a moment, it's not like he's there and he's gone, but suddenly Cliff is back at the door, looking around the corner where the steps are coming from, specifically. Watching like a hawk, waiting for someone to round a corner.
Someone does.
Great. Then they need to make a fear check.
Can I at least describe what they look like?
Of course you can. Of course you can. No, wonderful. Wonderful. Please. No, that is what it's for.
It's no big deal. You see a very, just a very, like, if there ever was a more gruff looking, like, potato person, it would be this man. He looks extreme, like he has a very swarthy face, very clean clipped uniform. He looks like a man made for rules and duty. And he's heard this cacophony from down below, and he is investigating. And as he rounds the corner of the stairs, and he's about to come down the stairs towards Cliff, where you are sort of positioned yourself, what does he see?
I'm going to put something in our side chat. I mean, not in the side chat, in our Discord.
Yes.
It's not literal, but just for a moment, in this darkness of the hallway, they don't see the fully humanoid silhouette of Clifford. You see an elongated figure. It's almost so dark with the piercing eyes. Even if it's not truly what is happening, in that individual's eyes, this is what they see, as I use a curse to fear them.
Oh.
More importantly, to buy the others time to get out. So they do need to make a fear test.
All right. That is one success.
Which is lovely. If the black dog didn't require two.
So, just because I'm not hopeful that this gentleman will be a part of any further social encounters with you all. The person that Cliff sees, his name is Officer Murdoch. He's a senior deck officer aboard the Titanic, and is his job in these hours to proceed down the halls to make sure that berths are closed and locked, and people are abed, and that no one is engaging in any kind of fornicating or skullduggery out in the open. But on this fateful night, which is fateful for so many reasons, he rounds the corner, and instead of finding himself walking down the stairs into the lower portion of the Titanic, he suddenly finds himself in a thicket nearby his hometown. And he sees a memory of a nightmare, a walking, living, breathing nightmare in front of him. Two golden eyes that stare at him from the dark. And he immediately relieves himself as he is frozen, struck dumb, and is not able to move.
As Nehemiah moves, he looks to Aoife for a second, and he says, place his hand on the stake. And then he makes eye contact with the woman again and like nods. It's almost like it's a performance. Like he is like, it's like he is looking at this woman, eye contact, wild-eyed, like I am commiserating in your panic. And then it drops as he looks over to Aoife, and he just says, place his hand on the stake. And then he's back at her and going, help, yes, help. And he is moving in the direction away from where Clifford just was with her. He's kind of like got her, he's got his hand like at the crook of her elbow, And so her arm is like resting on like his forearm as he's like pulling her out to like go get help. But really it's to get her the fuck away from this scene.
Just for clarification, you meant like place the dead man's hand on the stake in his own chest?
Yes.
As in hide it?
As in
make it look
like
self-inflicted?
Yes. As in like anyone that's going to come across this is going to see that his hand is on the stake, and that's going to at least delay some suspicions.
Sure. I saw her as already kind of in motion, but I think just with everything going on, she would certainly oblige. And in like it's like almost in one motion, like she sees you, hears you, and moves right to it. Again, this is all an instinctual kind of action just to move towards something that she feels she can actually do something about.
Before we start, I mean, as we are like now moving as a group with, guessing, a lot of haste. Quick question. Could I ask my little new best friend the size of a tooth if he can turn me invisible without sounding like an absolute loon for doing so? I want to like whisper into the necklace that I let him hang out in.
I think now would be a fantastic time to get a little less visible, if you could. Please.
Oh, are you in danger right now?
Right now?
And she looks at Nehemiah as they're actively running down a hallway, following bloody footsteps, and goes,
I'll get back to you.
I'm not going to answer that.
I'm just a necklace away. So, who is the last person to leave the woman?
Oh.
I think it would have been me. I went in there to try to help, but I was pulling Nehemiah away. Cliff was scaring the big guy. Aoife was doing the hand on the stake. So it was either probably me or Nehemiah, one of us.
Dove. It is oddly perfect that it's you.
Let me mute.
As you see the rest of your companions make their way down the hall, Cliff, I'll say you are passing behind her as you are also following in the direction that Nehemiah is going.
Sorry, just so we're clear. I was going to type as well. He's not doing anything with the lady, but he is letting everyone else move while that person is stuck.
Right.
So I don't see him then suddenly passing Dove.
No, I wasn't having you do anything with the lady.
Gotcha. I'm like he's at the back.
Everybody's
of the
starting to move now.
Yeah.
So
okay. Yeah.
Mr. Murdoch is currently transfixed. He is not moving anywhere without a change of drawers.
I was gonna say, as Cliff began to step away, you all know like the Hitchcock zoom shot? That's pretty much what that individual sees as Cliff is moving, but the figure they are seeing is not. So it gets like the terrain shift. It's not fun for him. No. And it only goes away once Cliff is no longer in his sight.
Got it. I had such high hopes for that guy. So anyway,
sorry.
As you are moving past behind Dove, you are standing. You and Cliff both exchange glances at each other, and then Dove, you hear a clock. It strikes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then the 11th hour strikes. I would like you to give me a learning check.
Okay. Okay, so that is 5 die. Let's see here. Please, oh please, oh please. That is no successes. Can you please remind me? Is there a way to push myself in this moment?
There is, but you will incur a condition.
I do it.
Okay. Okay. You're going to incur the exhausted condition.
Could I say one thing? I have that already. Could you give me a different?
Actually, no, you don't. No, you don't.
Okay, great.
Because your conditions were healed by
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I forgot to
By
unmark
the
it. That's my
uncles
bad.
and the pixies.
Okay, I'll remark it.
Yes.
Incredible. Okay. As I can I flavor this as pushing myself as that having the effect of a very strict bedtime, like a very strict curfew. Dove has to be in bed by a certain time. She lashes, like ties herself down to bed so that she doesn't write and doesn't leave the house. So she has an actual time she has to be in bed by. Can it be 11? I would love for the 11th hour to strike and it to be like, oh crap, I'm going to do something I shouldn't, even though she's not. I want it to still be something she has to push to really get the information from. I want this to be the time, like her witching hour, kind of.
Okay. So you're going to be able to re-roll your dice. Are you sure you want it to be 11?
Yes. Without a doubt in my mind.
Okay, sure. Okay. 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 Dove, have we ever given a name to the person that writes the horror stories?
The immediate regret in my body, Andy. No, we've not.
Okay.
We skipped that. I don't think we met formally. Yeah.
Well, that's an interesting thing, because that means Cliff definitely hasn't. Dove, in this, I'll allow you to, please re-roll the dice.
Oh yeah, that's part of it. Okay. If I did all this to still get a single success, I would be so sad. Okay. I'm rolling digital tonight, which is how you know I'm cursed. Okay. Not a single success.
Oh my god. Okay. All right.
It's witching hour. Dove's gotta go to sleep. Something else happens.
Okay. So, Dove, the world goes a little bit shifty.
Keep going, don't worry about it.
And you already were feeling like a little bit seasick because you've been on the ship now. The ship is moving. It's moving at a very impressive pace, cutting through the waves. It's a thing. But you're still on a ship. And so your inner ear is just going so very slightly. And you hear a voice. Oh, Dove. Oh, Dove. Oh, you're so tired. Has today been so very difficult for you?
I look down at the locket to see if it's just the little guy who can maybe speak in my mind.
The little guy looks at you confusedly, like almost as if he's expecting you to speak at them, but he sees this very altered expression on your face. So, Dove, I'm feeling a lot of fear right now. Do you think it's time we use that?
No.
Do you think it's time to
No, please.
do some writing?
And I think she's like balling up her fist to the point of like white knuckle shaking and whispering no over and over.
No, thank you. No, thank you. No, please, no. No, thank you.
I don't know.
I'm quite busy. I don't have time. I don't have time to write today. I can't.
That clock just told the 11th hour.
I'm sure it's fast.
I I don't mean to be a nuisance. Well, we're not usually talking right about now, but it seems that you're fighting me.
I have to be awake.
Right now.
I have to be awake. I have to be awake. Please, I have to be awake. Please don't make me right.
Where are we?
Nowhere? Sometime?
Don't lie. You know I hate it when you lie. Remember, we only tell the truth in our writing.
Please don't make me write. They need me. I need to help. I need to help people. Writing doesn't help. It doesn't help. I have to help.
Where are we, Dove?
She's trying really hard not to say. And I think she's just standing in the middle of the hallway, balled fists not moving, whispering, "No, please don't make me."
Cliff, I need you to give me I'll say an observation, or no, is it, sorry, I always get the vigilance or observation. This is yes, this is, yeah, give me a vigilance check.
What is happening right now? Y'all always stress me out. Okay, I do have to remove one die while I'm in half form with logic.
Mm-hmm.
That is 0 successes.
Okay, doesn't matter.
Whoa!
Okay. Cliff, you move past her. You don't even recognize that you see that she's slowed, but you don't necessarily interpret anything about it. You continue to make your way down. The rest of the group continues to make their way down. The world seems to slow. Dove? Are we on a boat?
I like to go sailing, I'm a sailor. Don't answer questions, don't write stories.
She's like now singing to herself, trying to not answer this
Okay,
voice.
all of you hear this music. Meanwhile, the woman who's sort of like catatonic right now because she's just like still covered in the blood of this man that's still on the floor, is sort of like has this insane expression on her face as she's looking at Dove, sort of like now almost creating a jingle seemingly out of nowhere. You feel pain, Dove.
What kind?
Mental,
Of course.
piercing pain in your mind.
Slay. Ow.
A spiritual pressure that is just sort of like a vice. Like clawed hands just sort of wrapping around your skull.
I think Dove does what she always does, and she covers her mouth and screams into her hands as she drops to the floor. There's no way. It's too loud. And she's going to try and smother that noise. She doesn't want to... I don't think she wants to draw the attention. I think she's going to... She can't... This thing doesn't talk. They don't converse. This is a lot. I think Dove thinks she's lost it. Like she's broken past a point where the people who tell her that she's always a little bit too in the clouds, like she feels like she's really up there right now. And I think that is her worst fear, considering how her mother passed. So I don't think she's able to move right now. She's going to sit next to this lady who is also in shock, or in front of her, whatever. I don't think she can move.
What are the rest of you doing right now?
It's difficult because I think I was, again, with how much time that we've been like talking about this moment, I feel like I'm like 50 feet down the hallway. So I'm not really sure. I think I'm gone. I'm not even gonna lie.
To be fair, though, because I think Drew was the one who sort of like took the lead on moving forward. I also don't think that Drew would go too far if the party isn't moving. So I think he would have started to make sure that there's like is there a hole?
You
to
would
turn
notice
into?
that Dove
Are
is
there
not with
steps?
us.
And then if I'm like getting to a spot where like I find where to go next, oh, there's steps over here, or there's a hallway. Turn into the group to make sure to be like this way. And I think the moment that if I'm guiding people that way and I see the people moving, or else when I see Dove falling, that changes the whole scenario.
Yeah, and of all the people, other than Nehemiah, Dove would not be one he would let out of sight in this moment. So even if he passed her, not thinking anything of it, or not thinking that she's in harm's way, now that the person behind is incapacitated, with the scream and the sudden stop, he would be almost running right back.
Your knees hit the floor, Dove. And as you are sort of like it is a mental chess match that is also a WWE wrestling event in your mind. And you are trying to gain control, fighting sleep. And suddenly you hear the tiny voice in the locket. Hey, are you okay?
Echoes. Just echoes.
The tiny little pixie child suddenly appears from out of the locket and just moves until they are just very at the tip of your nose. And they're just, hey. You're very brave and strong. You're very brave. You're very strong. You're very brave. You're very strong.
Is the voice still saying things to me while this nice voice is saying things to me? Like, is this like a layered over, or is the sound?
There's a little bit of a layering. It is
Okay.
sort of like vying for volume control right now.
Okay.
And it's like this thing is directly in front of your face. And the pixie is just gently tapping your nose and just sort of grounding you.
Yeah.
The voice in the meanwhile is saying, on a boat. This is new. This is different. Those tollings of the clock. Then I should be out and about right now.
I'm gonna start standing very slowly. If the voice starts getting distracted from trying to convince me of something and instead trying to figure out what's going on, I'm going to take that opportunity to try and regroup with the people coming back towards me. I'm trying to get up and move forward.
Yeah. Cliff clearly didn't have no idea what's going on in the mental space, but I think by the time you start to get up, you have a hand outstretched to you. And you see Cliff, it's not like disappointed dad or anything like that, but there's just like a stoic stare that he is giving. Not sure what's
Cliff,
happening.
I need you to give me a vigilance.
Oh, Key, love this for me. Okay, that's another only 3. I think I'm gonna push. That was 0 successes.
Okay. All right. You will incur an exhausted condition as well.
That, honestly, he's old and tired. 1 success with the reroll. I think that shows just this is not above my pay grade, but this is a bigger task than I typically do or want to do.
Yeah, you're usually you're one bond individual.
One trick pony over here. No. But yeah, I think there's a level of as he extends his hand out.
You extend your hand out. Dove, do you take his hand?
I do.
Cliff, you see the pixie just sort of very gently tapping, and then the pixie just sees you and is like, there's a tiny little squeak yelp as it goes back into the locket. As you raise Dove to her feet and you give her that look, that sort of almost a parental like look, you see the clock behind Dove's head, and you see that it has struck 11. It's now about 11:03. Something about that time. Something about that time is significant. We are aboard the Titanic.
Yeah. As someone, whether I have human bones or not, who technically was alive, does that time mean anything to me?
I'll say that in the time that you have followed Nehemiah, and in the time that Nehemiah, you have been in Ireland, you guys definitely know the stories of what happened to the Titanic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at least at this point, there have been court cases. There have been stories told by the survivors. There have been logbooks that have been recovered. You know that, based off of the recovered ship's logs, that approximately 11:40 p.m. in the evening was when the Titanic struck ice.
Yeah, that did happen, didn't it? And I think it's not in the same vein, but when Clifford, or the ilk that he is part of, his kin, appear and watch over, they tend to also have an internal clock that is ticking down, knowing that they only appear for people, not that when their end is coming, but it's typically not at the beginning of their journey. There's a reason he has many different charges. So I think there's a level of understanding what the time is in a literal sense, and there's about to be a lot of death very, very soon. Which is why, as Dove, you are picked up, and Cliff, I think, almost moves you, and he moves pretty fast, especially with the sprinter talent that I have. He moves pretty fast to get back with the group to make sure Dove was with them. But Dove, in between where his hand is touching yours, that seems to be something hard, something small. And he says nothing as he lets go, as there's a blessing in your hand. A little paw print.
This looks like the one that, oh, maybe I didn't see that. Dang it. I don't know what I've seen with my real eyes and with my not real eyes. Did I see you give this to the father at the church before we left?
I don't actually think so.
Okay. Then this would be
the main question is, did you see the one that I gave Drew? It was on the ground and Drew picked it up.
Yeah, I don't think I saw that one either. Yeah, so this is new to me. This is complete news to me. I take it, I look at it, and I will kind of go like this, like, okay, something, we have to figure that, oh, a gift.
He says nothing as he rejoins the group.
I'll put it in my pocket, and it is like, with reverence. I know that it is important. I have no idea what it does.
So above table for you, unless, Andy, you want to give the details.
Please. I will take over after you do, though.
Wonderful. Above table for you, with that object, you can add 2 dice to any check that you do. When you use it, though, that's an Andy story. Because it is technically a premonition of
I won't do this anymore. Okay,
of a point in time that could be the end. Could be. We rewrite our own fate.
Incredible. Thank you. I'm so blessed.
I would like to point out that of the fates that have been witnessed in this game, they all have happened. But,
I'm not an angel.
Okay. You have gathered Dove. You have brought her hurriedly. You have exchanged this blessing, Dove. You look at it. You feel sort of a warmth about this trinket that Cliff has given you. Cliff doesn't do things like he doesn't. There's always a meaning.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no wasted effort with Cliff. And so there's something about this that there is a purpose. You put it into your pocket. Nehemiah, you and Drew you see that Cliff has gathered Dove and Aoife, you're directly behind them. You are steadily moving further down the stairs, certain that the rest of the party is approaching behind. And if we can refer to the map, we will see where we are headed. You know that you need to head to steerage. And you know that based off of what has been told you, that the steerage section that you are looking for, because you are on, if we were looking at the map of the ship, you are on the left-hand side, or you started on the left-hand side, you've made your way down on the left-hand side, and now you are making your way towards the right-hand side of the ship. And you are looking for...
Which deck are we looking at?
You are currently in so you see where there are the stairs, right? And you see where the second class dining saloon is?
No. Which letter does it say next to deck? In the bottom left corner of the image.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the map that I'm looking at is the most recent one that was sent.
The most recent one.
So you're seeing a sort of side profile of the ship. Sorry,
that
should have
is
specified.
Very helpful. Yes, thank you.
So you are looking. So you see where the second class dining saloon is. So you were just through there. And now you are making your way down past, through the second class berths, down these stairs that you can see that are sort of like crisscross. And you've made your way all the way to the bottom level. And now you are moving through an area that you down this hallway that leads to another set of stairs. And you are moving just past the switchboard room. And at this point, as you are moving, Drew and Nehemiah and Aoife, you hear the din of the engines of this ship. And it is a mighty sound. It is a sound that you've never heard before. Actually, Nehemiah probably has. Nehemiah has, as he has crossed the sea aboard not a ship like this, but a ship. He has crossed the ocean. You know that you have to get past the turbines, past the coal stacks, and on into the steerage section of the ship.
Can we see the switchboard room? Like, are we walking past it, or is that just part of the area that we will be in? Like, we won't see it, but we will be...
No, you were walking past it. Like, it's at the end of the hall, and then there are stairs.
Okay. We don't have enough time. That is how Dove... She was a switchboard girl. That's how Dove gets her premonitions and a lot of her information. Would it be possible for me to use I don't want to take up too much time, so I would see if I could use my medium ability in order to get quality information to help us with what we will find when we descend. Like plugging into different parts of the ship, different rooms, seeing if I can hear anything, if anything comes in through those waves. That's how I got a lot of information that was helpful in a different time.
Okay. Because we are pressed for time,
Yes.
I'm going to say I will allow you to do this. I will say that you won't, to do the specific task, because this was your job, you will not have to worry about the condition.
Okay.
You will be able to just roll,
Cool.
and you won't have it subtract.
Great.
So give me, I will say, give me unless you have a special ability that would allow you to interact in some unique way.
I do indeed have a crystal ball, which should be able to help me just to fine tune it, which adds a die to this when I roll it. But that just kind of helps. So I did get 2 successes if I'm using the same thing I used from the medium ability.
Okay. You enter, you sort of like break off from Cliff as you hear sort of the sounds of not operators, but the sounds of voices coming from like the handsets and headsets that are being used. And as you enter the room, I'll say you all see this. All of the operators are dead. All of them have the familiar either slashes across the neck or they have been fed upon. It looks very hurried, like this colonel has made his way from the body that you just left and has very quickly seen prey and then just attacked. And immediately, like, there are 5 people that are now dead. You hear the sound of confused voices on the lines, just trying to figure out why they're not yet making connection, or they perhaps heard the sounds that were happening in the operator room. And it is this confusion that gives you focus, as the familiar sounds of the operating room or the operator room are suddenly sort of something that ignites your senses. And as you sort of hone in on different voices, you hear one. I'm so sorry. I'm having trouble making a connection. The line just suddenly went dead. No, Princess. I'm sure everything's fine. Don't worry.
What room is that? Like where? On the switchboard.
That room
where
is
that
coming from. That room is coming. It is 3rd class.
Okay.
It is room.
Hell.
Yeah.
Hell.
I feel the split coming on.
Oh, yeah.
No. No. We must stick together.
I don't want to, but there's so little time.
So little time.
There's so little time.
Okay.
You find this. This is 3rd class cabin E68. Just from what you know, E68 is very much deep in the ship. It's near service corridors, and it is close enough to the boiler spaces to sort of feel the hum and the heat that is coming off of the coal that is being burned. And the walk, it is further down for you. And then the walk to those decks is long and claustrophobic. There are locked gates, and there are some class barriers for there are officers who are basically, keeping people where they're supposed to be.
Bouncers.
But you hear the voice saying, still speaking to somebody that isn't on the line. Do you still wish me to wait? I'm sure somebody's going to pick up eventually. But
This is Dove O'Hara? Princess?
So sorry. I'm sorry. Dove, did the other person just... I got their name, but then something clipped the line or something... Did something happen?
Yes, please hold. We're dealing with a few things down here. Everything's fine. And she's like into her customer service switchboard girl voice, which is way more lucid than she feels right now. And she
no
looks...
worries, darling. Don't fret. It's totally fine. So I'm the caretaker for a young girl, and I was just wondering. Would it be possible to send down some warm towels? You see, she's very particular, and we would require some warm towels. I know you can see where we are. We're in the third class cabins, but
Thank
I
you
don't know.
for your concerns, and we take them seriously. Unfortunately, we won't be able to be delivering any towels to you tonight, but we can send someone down personally to make sure that everything is safe and comfortable for your guests. However, please don't answer the door for anyone who doesn't say the following words. Lemon snatch.
I'm sorry.
It's a security matter. And she is looking like frenzied back at the group, but she knows that they're trying to find this person, and if they knock on the door and open it, they're gonna kill her. So she's trying to keep them safe, but also knows they might have to go gather this person. So trying to keep her where she's safe, have her not open the door for anyone but them. And, if they can get her, I don't know what to do. I'm freaking out. I don't want this princess to die.
Are you okay?
Yes, everything's completely fine here. Don't forget, lemon snatch, and I'm putting it, I put my headphones down, I let everyone know the room number, the code word, and that the princess is in there. I can't do anymore.
The line, you hear sort of the faint warble of somebody trying to make further inquiries. And then you hear the like a concerned other voice, and then the line goes dead.
Immediately. I think I found her in a beautiful magical princess kingdom called E68. I know we're in a rush, and I know that it's going to get bloodier from here. Excuse me, as I kind of move the headset off the dead person. What are we supposed to do? Priorities. Time. I know we don't have a lot of it, and I really don't have a lot of it. What are we doing?
I just want to say that Cliff is just watching this and then looking at Sparrow like that. Let me look Sparrow. Looking at Nehemiah like, that's your friend. I'm here because of you, but we'll speak out loud. We need to get to the princess. That's not his voice. We need to get to the princess. Get to them before he does. Which means less talking, more going.
Hold on. There's so much happening. We have a little side chat going on, but I think we gotta put this all on the table. There's an iceberg coming. There are things that we cannot change about this situation, but we need to prioritize what we are going to do here. We have a vampire situation. We have this theory
God.
In this... Welcome to the chat, Andy. We have this theory that the vampire
58?
I'm going to say it again for clear audio. We have this theory that the vampire was the iceberg all along. We have a lot going on. So, table team, let's reassess. There's so much. I'm so here. I'm so good, but I'm so what do we do? We have to get together. What are we doing?
So, on some real ish, in my opinion, it feels like if we can get to Princess before a vampire does,
Yes.
things are either way. We're trying to get to Princess before they do, or if they're already there, by the time we get there,
Intercept.
handle it.
Mhm.
But Princess is goal.
Yes.
Clearly, there's a connection. We don't know what Vamp wants from them yet. Not completely.
And I want to make sure, because I believe that there is third class, like we've been moving left to right. The number that Princess is in, is it in the third class to the left that we just passed? Or is it across the ship to the right in the direction of the vampire?
So it is deep in third class, a little bit past midships. And it is, you see, let's see here. Zoom in. You see where this, things I never thought I'd say on an actual play. You see where the squash and racquetball court is? Right above the reserve coal and cargo.
Yes, I see it.
It's right between those two places.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we are going in the right direction. We got all the boiler rooms, engine room, all the stuff that we have to go to get there.
Yeah. So we're bucking it.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, if this thing is moving vampire speed, we are very much at a disadvantage.
And we have 40 minutes before.
You have 35.
First of all, watch him out.
Nobody's counting, Andy. Nobody's counting, Andy. Why would
First of all, don't disrespect me again. Second of all,
Cliff Carson.
Yeah. So yeah, 35 minutes. Which means, truthfully, I think the step is we get to that area as soon as possible. There's no other way of saying that.
Agreed.
Okay.
Yeah. Ow. You.
Indeed. Nearming.
Ow.
Aoife,
Yes,
now we'll say this conversation that is taking place, this is above table.
it is. Yeah.
Dove has just turned to the rest of the group and just been like, and
Yeah.
you know all of Dove's side of the conversation. You sort of heard the warblings and sort of garbledness of this other voice.
Mhm.
This Irish sounding voice, and you heard the sort of the faintest warbling of another voice on there, but you couldn't really distinguish what was being said. Are you all leaving the operator room, or are you having this conversation? Because I don't think anybody has broached the fact, because nobody else knows or has made that acknowledgement yet of the time.
I did say I think we have to move on.
Yeah.
It was not the best communicative, again, because there was so much happening.
I was going to throw in there, when you bring up the time, Nehemiah was going to find like the nearest like empty room to kind of just stash this lady in, because she is still with us.
Is she?
Did we deposit them, or did we keep them with us?
I was carried off by Cliff, so the lady I did not bring.
I did not bring her.
I'm not gonna.
She's not in my inventory.
Yeah, but like dead ass. I'm not gonna hold you. He grabbed Dove and booked. It's above me now when it comes.
But
to
I'm
her.
sure we can. If she is with us, I'm sure we can drop her off at an empty room. But we should be moving. Cliff did also say about the time that we are running out of it, and we shouldn't be standing here talking. So with the sense of urgency for two people out of us, I would say, even if we don't acknowledge, like, we have 40 minutes before the historical crash, I still think we'd be like knees to chest as fast as we could.
I think. Okay, let's bring this into character. God, Guys, I really think we gotta get going. We gotta go find this.
The magical
Vampire.
land of E68.
Let's go.
Yep.
Now.
Yeah, Nehemiah's also looking for anything that may be silver or wooden that he can just grab.
I would say Drew would assist by basically he would look whatever the nearest compartment that may be of like cleaning supplies or anything that may be like a table, especially in this room that like this boardroom, everybody's gone. So if there's anything wood related that is there, or if there's any area where there may be a mop, broomstick, whatever, he's taking that, breaking those things and passing them along if need be.
Got it. Nehemiah and Drew, both of you, give me a vigilance.
2 successes.
0 for me.
Okay, Drew, you're sort of like trying to find different, trying to find anything that will give you sort of a better a better chance at success of fighting one of these things. Nehemiah, you are able to find, oddly enough, a pool cue. Or pool. What are they? It's not called a pool rod, is it? No.
Pool cue.
It's a
Pool cue.
Yeah, it's a pool cue.
Like a stick? Yeah.
Yeah, a pool stick.
Commit,
Yeah, you
you're
find a
right.
pool stick.
Pool
that
cue.
is oddly enough in the switch room. It is a very odd object to find there. You're not entirely sure what these switchboard ladies were doing with a random pool stick in the operator's room, but
It's so you can
It's
press
there.
the buttons from across the room while you're
There you
refilling
go.
your water. You just ask the
Wow.
switchboard girl.
The
Everybody's
lore.
got
The
a fill
lore
your
that is
queue
being
in their
dropped here.
switchboard room.
It's at that point though, Nehemiah, as you sort of you've got this pool stick in your hand. You hear the faintest sound. The sound of gurgling. And you see one of the bodies of these switchboard girls start to just coughing up blood, but also jerking in a way that a dead person definitely shouldn't.
Yeah, gone. See ya. He's out.
Running. Sprinting.
Mm-hmm.
Attempt to close the door on the way out.
Sprinting at the top of my
Doing that.
lungs, Your Honor.
In
Well said.
fact, does the door? All these doors open inwards, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So he's going to actually take the pool cue, and he's going to pull the door closed. And I'm assuming it's like a loop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Slide in the pool cue.
Yep.
Across the door, and he's
So you're
gone.
securing the door.
Mhm.
You all have moved out of the room now. You hear sort of this gargling, choking sound getting stronger. The next thing I'll say, Cliff, give me a vigilance check.
I'm not good at vigilance in this state. Show me potato salad. You did not. 0.
Aoife,
Uh-huh.
Oh, wait! I get a +2 to vigilance! What the heck? I got 1!
you got 1. Aoife, I need you. Okay. Actually, I'll resolve the first thing first, and then this.
We gotta have eagle eye.
Cliff,
Yeah.
you move really fast
Yeah.
a lot of the time. Some things move as fast as you,
You don't have to say that.
or faster.
Yep.
The body that was left in the doorway, that's still covered in blood, just rises at from torso to legs at a right angle. And his eyes just darting around, eyes rolled back, and you see the transformation beginning to take place.
I have a question, Your Honor. Just for understanding's sake. Is this the one who got wrecked with the wife?
Yes. Oh, yeah. This is the one that you just saw.
The very first one?
Yes.
The one that Nehemiah staked? All right. Then he now has to have a conversation with his charge about how to create a correct stake because yours didn't work.
It does not kill them.
I think his eyes, his ears just twitch.
He's going off of instinct information. So it was either that or take the time to cut this thing's head off, and he had time for barely either.
Yeah, sure. We're training after this. Ears just twitch. And it's not that he's trying to single Nehemiah out. He's just the first one he tends to always look at. Looks up, but I think Drew, you would catch the look of someone who just like not had a realization, but just understood that there's something to be solved, a problem that is now upon us, someone who is alert like a soldier would be. And his stake didn't hold.
I need to ask Sir DM if I would be able to find a axe anywhere near along this journey.
Give me a, I'll say, yeah. There is a fireman's axe directly behind you, with what appears to be the beginnings, or you see coming from the wall. There's a fireman's axe. There's like there's a case that's inside with what appears to be the hose that is sort of wrapped around a wheel.
I think the moment that Drew makes eye contact with Cliff, understanding the issue that has arisen in combination with what we just witnessed in the room of one of the bodies starting to wake up as well, Drew's expression once again shifts, similar to that time that Aoife actually saw him shift the first time he used a handgun in front of her, when Drew the soldier takes over. And that's the moment that it's almost as if he already had clocked that axe. That you see Cliff, that without barely actually looking in its direction, Drew turns around, reaches, and it's just elbow to where if there's a glass protecting this thing, it's an elbow to that glass and reaching for the axe and grab it in both of his hands. And it's just that moment of, we have to go.
We're going.
Yes, we are.
Whatever happens.
Notably, beyond the sort of the rising up, it does not appear that this undead is able to move past that. It does look like the stake has paralyzed them, has fixed them to the spot, but they are not dead. They're not able to move beyond that.
So that's good.
This boat's going down.
Yeah, I think there's still urgency, so...
Andy, how do I fast track my character into a dead sprint towards the room in which we are going towards?
You can ask me, just tell me that.
I'm doing that. I've been doing that.
We're trying to run as fast as we can.
I am
Even
ignorant
past
of
the bouncers.
anything that doesn't immediately put a foot out in front of me, make me trip and fall on my face.
Okay. All right. You collect the axe. You move. As one group, you move your way further down the stairs, down hallways, moving quickly. You've got an idea, sort of the blueprints of the ship that you've seen so far, that you are headed in the correct direction. At this time, you spy the odd ship's clock, and you see that it's about 11:20.
Fear.
Is it? I asked before, but then I had a mental breakdown. I had a saucy little minty bee. So if I could I ask my little dude once more to make me invisible, pretty please? I'm very scared.
You absolutely may do that. You hear their little voice just. Are you in danger? You're brave. You're strong.
And those are wonderful affirmations. Can you actually do the thing that you said you would do for me? Is that possible, or is that?
Oh yes, I absolutely can. I can totally like hide. I can hide you.
Running.
I just wanted to make sure. Okay. I'm a tiny person. I'm a tiny little being inside this little. Okay. So. Okay. He claps his hands, and you are invisible.
I think Dove, in a panic, her hand shoots out for whoever is closest. Probably Aoife, because we've been running. And I think she tries to grab Aoife's hand with her voice out loud, also saying, "If it's me!" But obviously you can't see her as she grabs your hand from behind.
I
Still running.
I am just steps slightly ahead of you. So at first I feel your touch and sensing as if there is panic. In Aoife, it's me. She whips her head back and sees no one there. And I think she stumbles for just a second as she's realizing this and is like, "Oh, okay." And it just kind of keeps moving completely.
Just keep running. It's all right. I'm right here.
We're going, yeah. What happened?
I made a deal. She's still just running as fast as she can.
Okay. I believe you.
Can I still see the little guy? Because he's not invisible. Because I'd like to make sure he safely gets back in the locket. Because I know I'm running and rustling him around. So I just want to say thank you.
He's still he is very much inside the locket.
Okay, good. I say a quick thank you,
safe.
kiss the back of the locket, and keep running.
Now that I've done this, does this mean that I get the tiny little pin thing that you have?
Yes.
Goody! And you hear just the tiny little flutter of wings inside of this locket. He seems to be very, very happy with himself.
And whether I survive or not, that little guy gets it in my will. He gets the little pin. I will make good on my word, even if they have to get it from my corpse floating in the ocean.
As you tear down hallways, you are invisible, and you, as a group, I need everybody to give me it's gonna be it'll be a it'll be a group vigilance check to see if we see things.
Ooh, I got one success.
One success.
2.
One success.
So 4 successes.
2 successes.
6 successes. 7 successes.
Ate that.
Okay.
4+4.
I will say, for the sake of time, you 7 successes, and it's actually perfect because you all did have at least one. You tear down these hallways. You're making your way downstairs, following the signs that are pointing in the directions of places that you need to go. And you know that you're getting steadily closer. You're A, B, C, D, and then finally you hit E. And you hear like the steady like sound. Like, it is not quiet down here. It is like there is the sounds of the engine and there's sounds of the sort of the din of men working like in the bowels of the ship. And you hear life down in this area. You're starting to see more people. And as you are making your way, you do see just collections of just human immigrants who are seemingly coming from all walks of life. And they are all, the vast majority of them are poor. And there are families, and they are all sort of huddled masses at this point. And because you all have the gift of the sight, you also see the Vaesen that are among them. All among, on top of, you do see the certain spirits that seem attached, not dissimilar to how Cliff seems to be attached to Nehemiah, but different relationship entirely. There are some that are ill and potentially might mean harm if confronted in certain ways. And then there are others that are joyful and seem to be contributing to in a positive way to the life that is hard down here. At a certain point, you do see an elderly. Hold on one second.
God, it's like we're moving through a living graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
It's tragic.
Not doing any, not making any attempt to obstruct or deceive people, really, by their immensity. You do see in this large stairwell that is where as you're making your way down, you see in the stairwell, which is really the only place that they can fit, is a giant. That seems to be on the small side. Perhaps the runt of his giant litter. Perhaps making his way to a new world. And you see him see you see him. And his eyes sort of go wide.
What do you mean us?
No.
I'm invisible. That's why I'm trying not to scare anybody.
I think Drew is going to approach this thing. He doesn't he moves his hands just sort of in a more defensive way, but he doesn't shrink back from you. Drew, the Vaesen are able to understand the different languages, but Drew, there is haste. Drew doesn't know how to speak English with haste, but she knows they need to move forward, and so Drew just goes, lamento decírtelo, pero si en este momento no nos dejas seguir, no tenemos ningún problema con ustedes.
The giant leans in.
El problema es que hay un peligro aquí abajo, tenemos que proteger a alguien, y si no los protegemos, va a haber peligro, y este bote puede que nunca vea la tierra. So he's basically saying, we do not mean harm to any of you, but I must tell you there is something dangerous in this boat and somebody that we must protect, and if we do not, this boat may never reach land.
What is your name?
He's going to say Drew, then he realizes he's been saying that for a long time, as he says, Druan Waika Herrero.
Druan. My name is Bog. Which direction do you need assistance to? What is your destination?
Drew responds with the number of the room as he, with his free hand, points in the direction that they're moving.
All right. And he sort of brings himself up to his full height, and he stoops down and puts his frame through the doorway that leads to this lower portion of steerage, and he just sort of
Come. Listen, everyone. Listen. You, everyone, step aside. These folk here, they're my friends. They are friends of the bog, and
They are here to save someone. And you said E68. There, that door.
And he points down the sort of the long hallway.
I think as Drew sees that gesture into the group, he has a moment as he pauses, as he looks back at Bob, and he says, en breves minutos es posible de que un iceberg vaya a tener contacto con este bote. No sé qué tipo de magia tengan ustedes, pero si pueden ayudar, si nosotros fallamos, quizás ustedes pueden cambiar el destino. He basically says to him, in a few minutes, an iceberg may make contact with this boat. I do not know what kind of magic do you have, but in the case that we may fail, perhaps you might be able to help change history.
Whoa.
The giant's eyes go wide as he is truly only really understanding about 3/4 of everything that you say. More so to do with the fact that it's a rushed, like anxious. It's very difficult to make a giant feel small when they clearly aren't. But in this moment, you see Bog's physicality just shift into something that is fearful. And
all right.
And he reaches back around the corner where he was in the stairwell, and he picks up his cap, which was like this like newsy cap that he had on his head that he was wearing, and he straightens his jacket. And
all right, everyone, this lad here has told me that there is some danger, and that it would be best if we made our way to the upper decks immediately. As for you,
and he turns back to you all.
You have done a great service today for Bog. Do you require any further assistance?
I think Drew has a moment where he looks at the axe in his hand, looks at his very used up fists, and he goes, what I'm fighting is much stronger than just me. But I would love the opportunity to make sure, if this is my last fight, I fight right.
May your fist find their mark. Say hello to the... We only spoke very passingly, but she was kind. Say hello to the nursemaid for me.
And then he turns and heads, shrinks his form a little bit and passes through the bulkhead and back up the stairs. He is followed by a bevy of different Vaesen creatures who are all either walking or slithering, or some are even flying on tiny, tiny wings.
Hey, storyteller, really quickly, just mainly because I'm curious, and it was brought up earlier how, not that it's all black dogs, but seeing a sense of time, or what time is left for someone, just with a quick little glance, because he's been quiet during that entire exchange. He's typically in the back of moments like that because don't need to be the one speaking, but he's watching, always watches. And as the giant begins to leave, is there any way I can just glean how much time might be left? Not that he's going to try to change anything for him, but just a curiosity. Like, did this moment of Drew speaking to this creature, did it change anything for him? Is there more time than he might expect? Or less?
Cliff, as you watch this giant leave, First off, watching a giant leave ever is kind of a sight. But as you are wont to do, you stare at this individual and you sort of give them your gaze. You haven't given them a blessing, but you are sort of looking past it all, through the veil, to see what difference your being here has made. In this moment, you see two pathways. And it's the thought that you see two that is actually, at first, very encouraging. Because it means that there are things that can be altered. In one path, this giant never hears Drew's voice, never hears a warning, never hears anything. They are very quickly drowned and are joined by many others as a multitude of people who perish in the icy waters of the Atlantic. But that is not this one's fate. Because with this second sight that you have, you see a new history. One that has a similar end, but one that is more heroic. One that made a difference. You see a giant who, no matter what shape the other Vaesen, no matter what shape the human takes, did their best to save as many as they could. This giant never thought that a lifeboat was for them. They're too big anyway. And so the smaller ones were always the ones that they helped.
I think it's just something that he takes in. And he doesn't get shocked often, and I don't think he's getting shocked now, but I think there is a level of him not only knowing death, but fate, understanding that even the fates that those like him bring about, it doesn't have to be the end. It isn't always one route. And perhaps this helps his job more as he looks after Nehemiah and Dove, and I guess the other two. Happy Black History Month. But says nothing about it, just was an introspective moment as he continues with the group.
The door has been marked. Bog has pointed in that direction. And you see that E70 is directly at the end of the hall, with E69 and E68 being on the opposite sides. And E68 being on the right-hand side.
Are we going forward to this door, this place, this thing?
Yes. I'm invisible, so I'll go first, just in case something happens.
I believe that's the plan, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go scout. Okay, I'm very scared, is all. That's why I'm hesitating. It's because I'm full of fear. But Dove does head forward. I think she gives Aoife's hand a quick squeeze with a whisper of, Here I go. E68.
Yes.
And then she was not going to say anything else. She's going to try and be as stealthy as possible, and she will head forward, first listening to see if the voices are still coming in, if they sound like the same voices from the switchboard, etc., and if anything else happens that she can relay.
Okay. You move forward, still nerves on a hair trigger right now. Aoife, you've done such a good job of trying to move the group along, trying to be that voice that sort of like pushes. You don't know where Dove is right now because you can't see them.
Mhm.
But you start to head down in that direction as well. Aoife, I need you... This is going to be... I need you to give me a straight empathy roll.
Mhm. 1 success.
No, that is the book I need. Hold on. I need dice.
Do you? And for what exactly?
Why do you need dice?
We're in an actual play, and I need dice.
Oh.
Actually? Stop playing around with me. I'm very scared.
Actually, he's playing around with me.
I'm scared for you.
I'm scared for us.
I'm sure whatever it is will hit invisible me first, so it'll be fun.
Who's to say?
Oh, 6s.
I'm sure we can open a portal to get out of here, right?
Not in my ministry, sorry.
Right. Dang it.
Mm-hmm.
Aoife,
Yes.
as you're moving down the hall, it suddenly just narrows. And it's almost like you can feel the heartbeat of a ship. Guten Tag, Fräulein. We meet again. I didn't think you would be able to outpace me like this, but unfortunately, I got hungry.
Where are you?
That would be telling, but... Oh, I do like games, so I'll just say I'm close.
Are you scared?
I'm doing what I set out to do. This is my grand goal. And I think you are here to stop me, yes?
Are you going to leave?
Once my mission is completed, yes, I will leave. But there is only one way out of this. We know that all of the people are going to die. That your war is a lost cause. I am here to ensure that it is a lost cause.
No.
You and your band of second-sighted peoples, you're outmatched. If you would like, just let me open the door. Just walk away.
You are a coward. You are a coward if you cannot face us.
No, I can face you. I'm just testing the waters. I just like seeing how scared you all are.
I'm not scared. I just feel bad for
Cliff?
these people.
Drew, Nehemiah, Aoife, and Duff. You all are moving towards E68. Dove, you're the first to reach the door. Aoife, are you alerting your friends as to who you might be having a conversation with?
I think most of this conversation was in her head, but I think that last line she says out loud. And I feel as though it's as we're approaching the door, perhaps when Dove has touched it.
Dove, are you touching the door?
I wanted to listen in first to see if I could still hear those familiar voices coming from beyond.
Sure. Yeah, give me a vigilance check.
Sure. That is no successes for me.
You don't hear anything.
Okay.
Just, it could be because there's the din of the engine.
Mm-hmm.
But or the engines rather, but you aren't able to get a clear idea of anything that's going on the other side of the door.
Okay. Then I will... You said as she touches the door, because she is going to touch it before calling out. So what did you say was going to happen when she touched the door, Aoife? You were saying what out loud?
Just as you are getting to the door, so much so that you could touch it, is when she says, I'm not afraid, but I'm just, what did I say? Sad for these people.
Yeah. I think... Well, she doesn't know who you're talking to. She goes, it's all right to be scared. I can't hear them in there.
I think when you look at her, you see her eyes glazed over as if she's seeing beyond.
Yeah. I think then I would like to stomp on the floor in the rhythm that Drew accompanied me for my ritual in the church to alert him he needs to get over here. He can't see me, but he knows that rhythm, and I know that rhythm. And Aoife needs him. So I will start doing that rhythm on the floor so that Drew knows he needs to get a little closer to where we are, because Aoife's not Aoife.
I think as this next action is happening, she continues a little bit. If you open it, do you just expect us to run?
I expect you to behave as rats do when a ship is sinking.
You are a rat as well.
I have a way of getting off this boat. Or better to say, the Guardian has a way of getting off of this boat.
You too, yeah?
The Guardian is a key.
Yes.
You know, I realize I'm doing a lot of talking right now. I'm wasting precious time.
Drew and Nehemiah, you're all gathered at the door. Cliff, are you behind them?
I am always behind. I'm not like far from them, but I'm typically behind unless I've intentionally gone first.
Understood. I'll say, Cliff, as you are behind them, you smell the air in this area, in this room, in steerage, shift. And the smell takes on a slightly sulfurish taste in the air. As you turn, just to regard the environment again, looking back towards the stairs from where you came, you see a mist slowly begin to creep its way down the stairs.
This man, hairy as he may be in this halfway form, this man is growling. It is a guttural, primal growl as he shifts fully into the beast.
Nehemiah, you hear this growl, you know this growl. It is a clarion call that the world is about to get a lot darker. Drew, you have only ever really heard this call when Cliff has fought. And you've fought alongside him enough times to know that something is off. And you turn in the direction of Cliff and you see the mist. This mist that is very familiar does not seem to be moving very hurriedly down the hall, but it is moving toward you. Do you, as you hear this staccato of doves tapping, do you respond in kind or do you go to Aoife?
So I think that the moment that I hear the rhythm at first, I'm on alert. But I think also, considering the fact of how close Drew is to Aoife, the moment that Aoife says the first lines that she says actually out loud, and then there is also the sound of the rhythm, his attention goes to Eva's face. I think if it would safe to presume that Drew recognizes when Eva is, like, eyes are sort of gone as if she's like entranced. And I believe she said the line, "If we open the door, what are you going to do to us?" or something. The moment that she said that, I think Drew already is looking around and letting Cliff know and Nehemiah know. And I think he spots the mist and I think quietly, he just open the door. We have to go. Open the door. And I think that get them out. I think Drew is going to take a stand next to Cliff, which I presume is a little ahead of the door from where the mist is coming, as a way of like...
The mist is coming toward you down the hall.
It's coming down the hall. So I think if Cliff is facing the mist in the hallway, I think Drew takes a stand next to him, trying to like create more of a buffer. Because at this point, if this person is in the room, the idea of getting in the room is useless. This thing is missed. We need to move.
And I'll just quickly add that in that stance, I don't think Drew feels like an affirmation from Cliff that he feels that he's there. Like, Cliff knows you're there, but he's not acknowledging it, but not out of disrespect either, because I think just there is a subtle like shift, focus on the mist, but a slight looking over shoulder at Nehemiah, who should be in this form behind him now, as he's faced the other way, making sure that one, they're behind him, and two, he's okay. But more importantly, what their plan is.
Anyone looking at Nehemiah will note that his pocket watch, which is normally like on a chain, that very kind of it's kind of like that, like in the buttonhole kind of chain, just to make sure that it's on him, is not there, and it's in his hand instead. And he does not look terrified at all.
I'm kind of focused on Aoife in this moment, but seeing other people, especially seeing Drew not come over, even though I know he noticed what I was doing, I think seeing people take a stance is going to activate Dove to get in that room, because if that's who he's trying to get, we need to get them either away or get them to do whatever it is they're trying to do and get themselves away. So I think very quickly, still invisible, knocking on the door, Dove will just say, room service, warm towels, lemon snatch.
There is a second that passes, and then suddenly a hurried unlocking of the door. And I'm saying unlocking because it sounds like there are more locks that are being undone right now than there usually should be on any one of these doors. We're in steerage. It sounds like 4 or 5 locks are being removed from this door, and then suddenly there is a greenish glow that appears around this door, and then suddenly the door opens. And you see a woman dressed in white, and she looks to be almost like one of the stewards of the ship. She looks like she's working. But you know that this person, if they're working, they shouldn't be in steerage. They should be in the upper decks by the first class passengers. And she's holding a handgun. Looks to be a revolver. And in her other hand, you see this green glow of some kind of energy. Lemon snatch, was it?
I say nothing and I slip past her into the room. If it doesn't look like she can see me, I'm only going to spook her by speaking in this form. So I need to get into the room to protect the princess. I know that she's ready, so I need to get in there. If she can't see me, if it doesn't look like she's looking me in the eye.
Drew, she's looking right at you because Aoife's kind of indisposed at the moment and is not necessarily seeing with her own eyes.
Danger is coming. You need to go. Now. Aoife. And Drew is...
I'm sorry, what is going on? What are you... Wait. What? And she looks down, like slightly out of the door, and it's when she moves her body to look out the door, down the hallway, she sees Cliff, she sees Drew, she sees Sparrow. She sees Nehemiah.
That's 2 times.
He's
now
broken
today.
the 4th wall.
I didn't do shit. Y'all the ones broke it. I'm here existing, waiting for you to fucking trip my trap card, Andy.
She sees the lot of you. She does not see Dove. Dove, you enter the room, and you realize that this is not a typical steerage cabin. There shouldn't be a tree in here.
I'm sorry, did you say it?
There shouldn't be flowers and running water.
He did say tree. Okay.
There shouldn't be all of this light that is sort of filling this room with a warmth that is so full of joy. In the center of the room, there is a pool of water. Oh, I'm in the wrong book. Apologies. You see a figure that... Where is she? You see a figure that seems to shift as they move in and around the water, as they move up onto a flat rock that is in the center of the room. And you see what appears to be a mermaid. A mermaid child. And that is where we will end it for tonight.